Hello everyone. Today I'd like to share a tip with you for getting lucid and for going out of body. And actually this is a practice as opposed to a technique, but I think that it's so powerful that when you engage in it, you often don't need to use a technique. And if you do need to use a technique, it becomes apparent which one and what kind of variation on it you should be using, because actually there are hundreds of techniques, so that can get quite confusing. So I call this practice making friends with your subconscious, and I go on about it quite a lot if you've ever come to one of my meetups. But I'm going to go on about it some more because I think it's brilliant, and um, it's often not spoken about, or it's people underestimate how important it is. So first of all, I should say that the term subconscious, it may not be the correct technical term. I'm not a psychologist, and it's quite confusing, all these terms, subconscious, unconscious, conscious, superconscious. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what's what, but to me, it feels like I have a conscious mind, that's the one that's aware of what's going on, and then I have subconscious processes. I think some psychologists would call that unconscious processes. Well, they are unconscious if I'm not aware of them, but anyway, I'm not going to get bogged down with this. So, making friends with your subconscious. What is this? This is having a relationship with my subconscious mind. And I do this literally by talking to myself. So I don't necessarily talk to myself out loud because people might think I'm nuts. But I do talk to myself in my head and in my heart. And I ask my subconscious questions. I ask for its help and for its guidance. And actually, depending on your belief system, you might want to refer to this as your higher self, or you could even look at it as a guide within you, because actually, belief system is what this is all about. So it's really what you feel most comfortable with. But like I said, to me, I call it my subconscious. And so I ask my subconscious questions and for help throughout the day. I might be having difficulty with something, and I say to my subconscious, I'm really stuck on this. Can you give me some clues? Can you give me a hand here? I'll be very, very grateful for your help. And then the next stage, very important, is that I listen. And by listening, I mean that I become as present as I can and aware, and I'm just as present is the best way to say it. And I might suddenly get a little nudge, for example, when a bus goes by, and I think, oh, look over there. And then the bus has the perfect message on it, on an advert or something silly. And it's not that the bus has just appeared for my benefit, or that the message was written for me, but it's that my subconscious has noticed that there's something that's useful that might answer my issue at that time. And I found that the more that I engage in this, the more that this relationship is strengthened. And it's such a beautiful thing. I can't tell you how amazing it is when you realize that this normally quiet part of yourself is actually communicating with you. So I think of the subconscious like a quiet little friend that's very protective over you and speaks another language. So they don't say much, but they're fiercely protective over you, too protective sometimes, that they actually steer you round in circles with certain patterns that perhaps aren't that useful for you anymore. But it's good to know that if that is happening, it's doing it for your protection. And you can chat to it about that too, but that's for another video. So going back to this making friends with your subconscious, when I have this relationship going, I'm able just to go to bed and to say to my subconscious mind, there's an issue that I would really like to address. If you think that it's in my highest interest and this is the best method, I would love to get lucid tonight or tomorrow morning. And sometimes it's as simple as that. I just go to sleep and I do get lucid. Maybe a dream character might come up to me and say to me, hey, do you remember you want to talk about this? You want to address this issue? And then I'm like, yes, thank you so much. I'm so grateful to you. And I become lucid. Well, I'm lucid at that moment. So gratitude is a very, very important part of it. It's acknowledging that you've seen the help and that you're grateful for it. So, and actually sometimes I do need a technique because that's just not going to work. I'm so sleepy that my dreams could be giving me all kinds of symbols, but I'm just not going to notice that. Perhaps you've had that experience when you saw a billboard in your dream that said "Get Lucid," and then you woke up and wrote down your dream in the dream diary, and you thought, how did I miss that? Well, that can happen sometimes because you're just really tired, or you're not with it. So in that case, what might happen is I may make a request to get lucid, and then at 4 o'clock in the morning, or 6 o'clock in the morning, or 12 o'clock in the afternoon, depending what time I've gone to bed, I wake up too early, and I haven't slept enough. And I think, oh, why am I awake right now? And then I think, oh, yeah. I've obviously been woken by my subconscious to prepare me for whatever it is I need to do to get lucid now. So I then may come back to bed and I lie there and I say, okay, thanks subconscious, yes, I want to get lucid about this. And it may suddenly come into my mind, you should count backwards from 100. Because that's what you need to do to calm your mind down, because it's too jumpy right now. So there's a technique, but I'm being guided by my subconscious at that moment to do that. And so I do that, and then I get lucid. Or sometimes I just say, please help me to get lucid if you think it's in my highest good. And I feel like I can just turn around and go to sleep. And I do that, and I don't get lucid. But then I just accept, okay, it must have been in my highest good that I shouldn't get lucid, so that's great, that's cool. So I think as well that brings me to an important point. A lot of people are very desperate about having a lucid dream and having an out-of-body experience. They're really, understandably, very eager to, and perhaps they've been trying for a long time and they feel frustrated that they haven't got there yet, and I can fully understand that frustration. The problem is, and you've probably heard this a million times before, but when you're desperate about something, you actually repel it and you put barriers up towards it. So this is an important thing to consider. When you're engaging with your subconscious and you're making these requests, there's an openness about it, and you let go, in a way. You let go of the need to have the lucid dream or the out-of-body experience. It's perhaps, you've put an intent that you want to address a certain issue, or that you'd like to learn something. So I might say, I would really like to address my fear of whatever. Please help me with that. And yeah, if it doesn't happen in a lucid dream, maybe I just have a normal dream. Then I accept that that was the best thing that could have happened for me to progress in that issue. And there's no resistance. I don't turn around and look at it and think, oh, I failed. Oh, you idiot. Why didn't you get lucid? Because that's actually just saying to my subconscious, you're stupid. And that's not helpful at all. Then it's your little foreign friend is just going to shy away and not help you at all. So I'm always really grateful and positive about whatever experience that I have. And if I have any moments of frustration, I quickly transmute them into something positive, and I work on that, because it's very important to be open and accepting and just allowing of whatever needs to be. So I hope you found that tip helpful, and I shall be back with some more tips very soon. Lots of love. Bye-bye.